We are still celebrating women on this week's edition of Art House. We begin in Abuja, where a performance that looks at the plight of victims of violence, which in most cases are usually women and children. Then we'll also see women using their art to be the change they want to see. You get all this in a moment, so don't go anywhere.
Literature is in many ways like faith. It's a leap of imagination.
It is time women are included in the narrative of rebuilding the Niger Delta region, and the NDDC is using the art to drive this message home, taking it to the seat of power, Abuja.
It's an event to celebrate womanhood, and as the guests arrive, they take time to first sign the pledge for parity walls. An acknowledgement that they support the theme for this year. The Niger Delta Development Commission believes women should take their pride and place in national discourse. The acting managing director, Ibim Semenitari, says this has become important because women and children are the most vulnerable whenever there is conflict in the land.
From Queen Elizabeth I to Queen Amina of Zaria, and yes, Queen Kambasa of Grand Bonny, these are worthy examples of how women, surrounded by exciting circumstances, overwhelmed by adversity and bigotry, rose to the pinnacle of human reckoning.
In an age and time when women all over the world are making impressive contributions to social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. The pace for global gender parity continues to slow down. According to the World Economic Forum in 2014, it is predicated that it would take until 2095 to achieve global gender parity. But this can change, and the power to make it happen lies in our hands.
It was not a day for speeches, so all the talk was kept short so they can make way for the acts to begin.
The longest I'd ever heard. The air was stiff and my world stood still, but you came.
Poetry recital by two female poets talk about the Niger Delta struggle.
The other day, we danced on the street. Joy in our hearts, we thought we were free. 3 young folks fell to our right. Countless more fell to our left. Looking up far from the crowd, we beheld red-hot guns. We thought it was oil, but it was blood. We thought it was oil, but this was blood. Tears don't flow when you're scared. First it was the Ogoni. Today it is Ijos, who will be slain next day. We see open mouths, we hear no screams. Standing in a pool up to our knees, we thought it was oil, but it was blood. We thought it was oil, but this was blood.
Hold you piece by piece against the light, give them something to marvel at. Let their history books say, here lies a woman who knew that fear is just a growling animal with no teeth. Thank you.
This next act is done by children who are part of a cultural group. play and dance to local instruments to the admiration of the audience. The highlight of the night is the command performance, a play titled Little Drops, written by renowned author Professor Ahmed Yerima.
Oh, never mind what the people say. What they don't understand, they endow with mysterious tales. I am what you see, the old woman by the riverbanks.
Mother. Can I call you mother?
Yes, if you wish.
You have seen me. Down there, where my virtue once lived. Mother, tell me, will I ever be the same again? We just got married 4 days ago. My husband gave me this ring. He promised to treasure and please me all the days of our lives.
The play profiles the experiences of 4 women affected by crisis in the oil-rich region. Each woman speaks of the tragedy that befell them as a result of the violence.
Thank God. How you be praised. Oh, I thought I had been captured. I've been running since the attack on Monday.
Attack? On Monday?
Captured by whom? I don't know anymore. First it was from the boys. Then it was from the government soldiers. And when it happened, my whole life changed. The community of children and youths and mothers who used to love me now wanted my head.
Your head?
Tell us everything.
They are treated like they have no say in the war. All the women do is keep mum and tend to the wounds of their young men while trying to protect their little ones from being hit by stray bullets.
There was war. How were we to know in this swampy bush? As they jumped in and out of the water, diving, checking the nets, dogum! A shell! It tore them to pieces. I never picked one complete. A head here, a limb there, a toe, a finger. In the rain, I picked each piece until I had each wooden box complete.
The women long for peace to return and are fed up with the bloodshed, but turn to each other for comfort when the going gets tough.
Every time I turned to look, he turned too, as if he knew me.
Hurry! Get a mat! Oh!
But he wasn't there well.
Oh! Her tongue is too dry for speech now. Hurry! Watch the movement of the night. How do you feel?
I feel well, Baba. Your tender fingers soothe even the most confused and rotted soul. Thank you.
The play climaxes with the arrival of a victim of war, one of the militants. When his cover is blown, not everyone is willing to help, and he did not ask nicely either.
There are some people in government and in high places who believe that the people of the Niger Delta must be taught a lesson. So each law is against us. Each law is without us. Even our leaders come up with too much tea drinking that they forget the true cause of their people. But they will see. We will destroy everything. 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 Total breakup.
Guns and bombs do not come to the rescue, but tender loving care soothes his wounds and turn him into a defender of the people. A pledge he made to the mothers of the region is that the only tears they will shed is that of joy, as dialogue would hold sway instead of violence when there's a clash of interest between the leaders and the people.
Run, run, save the future from disaster. Hold my hand, hold my hand. We will fall, but we will rise again. I love my neighbor like I love my child. I love my neighbor like I love my child. Give me a hand, give me a hand. And together we will rise to see a brighter day.
Some of the top officials in this hall connect with the message.
Every time people talk about the Niger Delta problem, they see it through a particular prism. Hardly do they see it through the eyes of the vulnerable, the women, the children, those who bear the brunt of the problems in the region. But there was also a need to tell that story, to tell the story of the region, to make it real, because very often it's like a tale by moonlight, and most people who are not from the region don't understand how it affects lives. Very often they don't even understand the psyche of the people, why they do the things they do.
We have no other choice but to accept to live in peace with one another. The women are crying, the children are crying. We are calling for peace. Peace is the only answer.
And pray it resonates beyond these walls, especially with the youth, so they realize that violence is not a means to an end. It solves nothing.
Need I say more? I hope it reaches those who need to hear them, because we all have to come together and make Nigeria a better place for generations. And this next artist goes further to take on global issues like the migrant crisis, and that's coming up when we return. Stay with us.